Hello, hello, hello. It is Cassandra Terry of the Cassandra Terry Morning Show. I have four so far of the Fam Five with me, and we are here on this Wake Up Wednesday, here to share with you about the importance of intentionality. It is important to be intentional. But before we jump in, our sister Denise is in Grenada doing big things, making a difference in this world, and she's going to have to go really quickly. So Denise, before you have to leave, let me give you an opportunity to share with us what's on your heart this morning.
Good morning, everybody. So I'm standing in the doorway because I'm waiting for my ride. As soon as I get in the car, I'm going to lose a signal. So if you guys can't hear me, I'll be back inside. But there's this beautiful backdrop. And I wanted to share something this morning before I have to go. It's on my heart. And I remember that somebody I respected, somebody who was way more mature than me, shared something one time and it blessed me. And what they said afterwards was, I don't know who needed to hear that, but it was on my heart to share it. And that's how I felt this morning. That's how I felt last night. So I want to tell you guys that, I know I've grown. I know I've become, let me click this real quick. Hold on, you guys. I know that I've become so much more mature. And I say that because I heard somebody say something. Let me come back. My phone. Sorry, you
There you
guys.
are. That's okay. We can see you.
Did I lose y'all? There we go.
We still had your audio. We just lost your
Okay.
face for a couple
So
of days.
I heard someone who I have a great deal of love and respect for, another female, say something last night in an audio room that about, I'd say 10 or 15 years ago, I would have been like, who does she think she is? And where that kind of voice comes from inside of you is your own self-doubt. It has nothing to do with the other person, nothing at all. It has nothing to do with their beauty, their inner beauty, or their outer beauty. It has to do with you and your own acceptance of yourself. And I'm finally in such a place. I love everything that I'm doing. I love how God wired me. I'm a little different. I'm a little weird, and I'm okay with it, right? So last night when I heard this person say this, I was like, that's right. She said it confidently. She said it boldly. She was walking in everything that God blessed her with, and she did so with confidence. And I'm going to tell y'all what it was. I'm in a room, and I heard this lady named Cassandra Terry say, my mother, she said, my mother had me. Cassandra, is it correct? You said when she was 14 or 15?
Yes.
She said, my mother gave birth to me at 14 or 15 years old. And I had heard that before, so that didn't hit me. It was the way you said the next thing you said, but look at what she did. And she said it with confidence. 10 years ago when I was in, yes, she did. 10 years ago when I was in an ugly place with myself, I would have been like, who does she think she is? Look at what she did. Like, she's full of herself. You know why? Because you're not full of yourself. So I wanted to address it this morning real quick. It was on my heart to say, I loved it when you said it. That means I'm in a good place. I love who I am. Look at what my mama did, right? Look at what your mama did. Look at what your whoever did that brought you into this world first. Look at what the creator did within you. I'm standing here about to go on this wonderful tour of this island to look at some places because we're doing more things because they have invited me to stay. I'm so blessed by that. I can almost not even say it without crying. They've offered me an extension because they love what we're doing here. And the fact that this program that came out of my brain has been so accepted, has blessed me so much. You guys have no idea. And so I hear this confident cheerleader say, look at what my mama did. And I walked away from that like, look at what my mama did. And so in saying that before I go, I want to say to your mother, to Mama J, look at what you did. And I honor you and bless you because there is no way in this world. It's 2023 and we're still struggling with, unfortunately, with gender issues. Women are not getting the jobs they should be getting, with race issues. It's crazy to me. I cannot imagine the strength it must have taken at 14, 15 years old in the time such as this world, where it was, what you had to endure. So I honor you this morning. I give you a big old hug. I say, God bless you, because Mama J, look at what you did. I love
Aw,
y'all. Have a blessed day. And
you too, sis.
if you're out there, this Wake Up Wednesday, I want you to wake up everything in you that's dreaming, the little dreams, the big dreams. I want y'all to go for it. I want you to shut out that inner critic, wake up that inner cheerleader. Go get it, y'all. Go get it. I love you guys. And I will
Love
see
you
y'all
too.
tomorrow.
Thank you so much for that, Denise. And I tell people all the time that when I speak, I don't really prepare. I'll have a quote like you guys have gotten accustomed to, or an acrostic or something to stimulate the conversation and get us going on a path, but I don't prepare beyond that. Let me let Brian in. Give me just 1 second. There we go. Welcome, Brother B. Um, and so sometimes I don't know exactly what's going to come out. And I'm okay with that because I believe that I and we are vessels. And sometimes when we over prepare and we have this predetermined, this is the speech, these are all the points I'm going to hit, I'm going to wow the crowd type of situation, that we don't leave space for the creator's creativity. And so I know where I'm trying to go in any room that I'm in, what the point of that room is, or if I get motivated by something that somebody says and I raise my virtual hand to go up, I know what has motivated me, but I could never tell you exactly what's going to come out. And a lot of times after the rooms are over, I don't know what I've said because I do allow myself to be that vessel. I would much rather you all hear a message that God is speaking through me than what I happen to think. But Denise does, I know she's gone now. She doesn't know how much what she just shared blesses me because I wasn't that person not that long ago. When I thought about what my mama did, I thought she ruined her life. She ruined opportunities for her, and I was the ruin. I was what caused her life to be more difficult than what it needed to be. She didn't hit the stage and be able to sing in front of the masses like she could have if she hadn't have started having children so young. And I took that on as a very young person, as a my existence being a negative thing because I saw it as a pain point for my mom. She never articulated it that way. She never said that. But I would just hear things about how special and gifted she was, and she still is, as a singer, and how she moved the crowds. And there was some famous somebody somewhere that had some interest in her. And instead of her being on that path, she became my mom. And I took that really seriously as a young person. First, I thought if there was anybody that was a candidate to not have been, it was me. For her to choose to allow me to live in the 60s as a young Black female that integrated the schools that she went to, and then to become pregnant and to have a child, you know, by your 15th birthday or shortly before your 15th birthday. I still can't quite wrap my head around how hard that must have been. And so I have a lot of love and respect just for the fact that I was allowed to be born, just that alone. And that has always motivated me and made me want to be good, made me want to work hard, made me want to make my mom proud. And eventually, though, it kind of morphed into people pleasing and perfectionism and not allowing myself space to just be and to develop. And so I had all of my love and the warmth and everything associated with things, actions. I got good grades, so the crowd cheers, everybody's proud. I made cheerleaders, so everybody's proud. I'm going off to college, so the family's proud. And so in my mind, I associated love and support with being good and doing the right thing. And so I walked a very self-imposed difficult path because I didn't give myself real space to develop who I was and what I was interested in and really to get to know myself. because my focus was doing the right thing and making my mom and my grandmother. And I had that same sort of homage for my grandmother because she, of course, played a huge role in raising me and my sister because my mom was, still at home and a teenager. And now she's got not one, but two little ones. And so I just worshiped the ground that my grandmother walked on. And I felt like, for her to give up her latter years to take care of children was such a big sacrifice. And so I definitely didn't give myself room. So when I talk to people about failure and failure being an opportunity for learning, not something that speaks to your character or the core of who you are as a person. When I talk about people pleasing and perfectionism and all those things that you guys hear me talk about on a regular basis, it's coming from a lived existence for a very long time and a lot of internal work to heal that part of me. So when I say the voice within wins, it doesn't just sound good. I like it because it rhymes. It makes it easy for people to remember. So sure, good marketing, but the message behind it is so true because it's my message. So much of my life, the voice within told me, that I wasn't worthy, that I had to be perfect, I had to be good. Because look at your mom gave up her whole teenage years. She gave up her youth. She never had the chance to just be. So those messages were playing in my head all the time. How dare you make a mistake? How dare you not be the best that you can be? Your grandmother gave up the other end of her life, her latter years, her, when she should be relaxing, she's raising kids. And so those messages were playing in my head all the time. And thank God for me, they were motivational to a certain extent because I did work hard. I put that energy into things that propelled me forward. But the heaviness of my heart, the darkness, that cloud that was with me all the time, was a burden to carry, and it was self-imposed. But as a little person, you just never know what's going on between the ears of young people. You don't know how they're processing what's going on around them, and the way I was processing made me the problem. And because I saw myself as the problem, I did everything that I could do to counter that and to be good. At least I can make good grades. At least I can make them proud, that sort of thing. And so the reason I show up has to do more with that and me coming on through that and being healthy and whole on the other side of that. The message is that can be you too. If you're struggling with whatever it is, if you're facing whatever obstacle, there is a path forward. Someone has made it through. And if anybody's made it through, that's a testament that you can too. So that's why we show up every day. That's why we talk about the things that we talk about. And when I said, look what my mom did last night, that it just came out. It was just how I felt in that moment. And thank God that I've arrived at that place to see the fact that I exist as a positive and not as a negative, because it was a negative for a good portion of my life, for all of my young life. As many, if you can look back at the pictures, you're going to see smiles, you're going to see cheering, you're going to see accomplishments, all kinds of stuff. But look at the eyes. They're kind of dead. The joy didn't resonate from the mouth to the eyes. It wasn't a happy face. And when I look back at myself, that's what I see now. It's like, oh, that poor baby, that poor little girl. She did not even know how loved she was. She didn't know how special she was. She didn't know how valuable she was, that she was already making it. And she was compassionate. She was already making a difference. She was kind to people that everybody else didn't pay attention to. And I was popular. So I was always going to be with the cool kids, but I chose to spend time with everybody else. When Facebook became a thing, that was the first thing I realized. I got reconnected with all of a lot of my schoolmates and the stories that they told. One guy, I still remember when you danced with me at the school dance. And he was like, nobody else would dance with me, but the cool girl did. And that made a difference. People talked about, me being nice to them. And that was blowing my mind. I'm like, why wouldn't I be nice to anybody? And I thank God that he put that heart in me then to sustain me so that I was able to get through what I was going through by being nice to other people, regardless of how I felt on the inside. I still had kindness and compassion for other people, and I've gotten it back in droves. And I've been loved in ways that I didn't ever imagine. And I I think what we put out there we get back. And so just be mindful of what you're putting out there, but starting with what you're putting out there for you. Denise said 10 years ago, she would have said, who does she think she is? My question is, who do you think you are? That's the real question. When someone who's walking in their power, when someone's walking in their strength, when someone loves themselves and is able to show up in the fullness of who they are, if that bothers you in any way, like what she was talking about, I mean, what an amazing share. Turn that back on you and go, who do I think I am? Why would someone else's confidence negatively impact me? Why would I have an adverse reaction to that? And she's 100% right. It's because there's something inside that still needs to heal with you. And that was my story for a very long time. Confident people I shied away from. I didn't feel like I could measure up. It made me feel small. And instead of feeling small and not measuring up, it's so much easier to think something negative about them. And so she just doesn't know that she put an exclamation point on my journey for me in her share, because I've been saying to them a lot this week, I can't see what you see. I can only see my reflection. So how I'm affecting somebody else, or what I say and how it, I can't see that, but to have it played back, sometimes it opens my eyes. And Denise has helped me see some of my own growth and evolution, because I absolutely wouldn't have said, look what my mama did, as a positive, with a smile on my face, with my chest pumped out. I wouldn't have, because I was ashamed of my own existence. And I was sad for her existence, because she had to deal with me at such a young age, and to now be in a place to where I'm proud. That can be all of us. Whatever it is, when you reflect in that mirror, you see your reflection, whatever it is that's looking back at you, allow yourself to feel it. And if it's not positivity and love, call me, DM me. Let's do the work. Let's deal with that inner voice once and for all, and get you on that healing journey, so that you can get out of your way and open yourself up to the life that you were designed to live, because someone's waiting on that version of you. Someone needs that version of you to supercharge their journey, right? You've already inspired folks up until this point that you probably will never know about. But we keep evolving, we keep growing, and as we show up and we do that, we are affecting change. We are giving hope to others, even though we might not ever get that feedback. It's a blessing when you get it and you actually know that you've made a difference in someone's life, or you can see your own journey and how you've arrived at a different plateau. It's great. But sometimes you don't get those data points. But I guarantee you, I am 100% sure that as you're evolving, somebody's watching. Someone's getting encouragement, someone's being inspired, someone's getting the hope that they need to take that next step. And they're getting that from you. So don't get weary, never become weary in your good doings. Your good, just keep going. Keep going, keep doing the things that you do. And one day it'll all be revealed, and we will understand the journey that we were on. Our questions will be answered, and we'll have the opportunity to see and understand the difference that our lives have made. So, Jay, I know you've got the quote. We went on a whole tangent. That's not Wake Up Wednesday. But Denise did it. It's Denise's fault. So let me read a few of the comments that have come in, and then I'm going to pitch it to you. And if you'll start with the quote, and then how that has affected you, or what you'd like to share this morning. So I see Cynthia Brewer. Good morning. Good morning. Beatrice said good morning from PA. Dr. Marcia, good morning, Power Pack Champions. That sounds nice, right, guys? The Power Pack Champions. Good morning, Dr. Marcia. One of the most powerful voices I know. And I don't know if you know this about yourself, Dr. Marcia, but when you really hit that passion point, when you're really dropping a gem, and I can feel when you're feeling, and your voice goes so deep in your chest that it's no longer a voice from your throat, it's coming directly from your heart. And the things that you say in those moments just blow my mind. I said that to Brian the other day. You had given him some flowers, when you'd come on stage. And I said, Brian, she meant that with everything in her, because her voice went from her throat to her heart as she was talking, and I could feel her heart. So you are prolific, you are powerful, and I love when I get a chance to be in your presence and to hear what you share, Dr. Marcia. Coral says, morning all. Good morning, my sister from across the pond. Um, Dr. Marcia said, totally agree. Let God use you to heal people. Absolutely. And she also said, we are always more effective as vessels of honor. Absolutely right. Let's see. I know I'm going to mess up your name. It looks like Timatope. Hello, people. Happy to be here. We are happy to have you. Platine says, hello, friends of peace. I love that. And he said, Cassandra, your story is so touching. Your story is magnificent. And I've been honored to hear it, Platine. So thank you for that. Deirdre says, you will reap what you sow. Absolutely. That's the word. And she also said, I shrank from confident people. So happy for the journey and progress with positive change. Life is so much more exciting. Absolutely. And then we've got our friend Ambimbola here, and she says, hello, Cassandra. Hello, my friend. And Dr. Marcia says, appreciate you very much. Thank you so much. Thank you. And so those are the quotes we've gotten, the comments we've gotten so far today, Jay. So I am going to get off my soapbox because Denise took me somewhere that I don't think really has a whole lot to do with Wake Up Wednesday. So if you can get us back on track, let's see. Deirdre says, thank you, Cassandra Terry, for articulating your experiences. So very helpful. You are welcome. Thank you for listening. So Jay, if you can start with the quote, and let's start talking about intentional and how important it is to be intentional.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll get to um, everything in a minute. Let me read the quote. An intentional life is not about perfection, but about consistently choosing what aligns with your values and purpose. And that's from Brittany Burgunder. Um, before I get into the Bible verse, I'm going to talk to my sisters. Thank you, Denise. That when we sit here and we listen with intentionality, what can come from that is a beautiful message. And what can also occur when you intentionally share that message, even to the person who shared it with you, just how that falls on someone, there is a beauty that can come from that. And that message came all the way back around to Cassandra. And this, while you may think, Cassandra, it doesn't have anything to do with the quote, it has everything to do with the quote. So, this, and imagine what that is because of that intentionality you had and she had together in alignment. Now we have an even stronger message to share. So, intentionality. You weren't far from it. You were actually on point, Cassandra. So let me read the Bible verse and then I'll get to my little story. So this is the first book of Corinthians, chapter 9, verse 24. Do you not know that in a race all the runners run, but only one gets the prize? Run in such a way as to get the prize. Run in such a way as to get the prize. And you've just witnessed that prize this morning, the message. And this is the power of intentionality. This is the power of alignment. This is the power of community. And more importantly, family. And so, if you have that intentionality, if you have that in you, things will align. And your story will be a testament to your life. It'll be a testament to your faith. It'll be a testament to the DNA that you have. I talk about this all the time. By your faith and your DNA, you've got this. And people will see in your faith and in your DNA just that beauty in what you have. So, uh, something struck me and when in your story, you know, as human beings, we often wonder why. We often wonder, am I doing what I'm supposed to be doing? Where am I supposed to be in this moment? Why am I supposed to be here? And I recall, um, because I'm in this moment where we've lost a family member. I'm recalling the time my mom was in hospice, and I was intentional. The intentionality, understanding the gravity of me leaving my children, my wife, to go see my mom. I knew in my heart what I was going to do, but I just asked God, why? Why am I in this moment? And to not make this story longer, I'm a tornado survivor. I chose to be a victor, not a victim. And in part, it was due to my mother's faith because she said, I'm going to pray for you. Make sure you pray. And I said, yes, ma'am. And I didn't know the power of that moment. And on my plane ride over to Washington State from Alabama, there I was asking God, why? And on the night of her passing, it became evident. That morning, after coming from church and visiting with mom, I remembered that prayer she prayed for me, that short little prayer. And I prayed a warrior's prayer over her in her time of need, just like she prayed for me in my time of need. This is the power of family. This is the power of intentionality. This is the power of alignment. And by my faith and my DNA, these two very powerful moments in my life have become my testament to all of that. to all of that. This is why I continue to share my story, and your story, whether you realize it or not, will be that message, will be in alignment, will be intentional. So back to you, Cassandra.
Thank you, Jay. As always, bringing it all together, making it all work, making it all make sense. I appreciate you. We have a couple of other comments that have come in. One's for you, Eric. Coral said, "Thank you, Eric, for sharing those lovely outdoor pictures the other day. I appreciate it." And Kim says, "Morning, sorry, listening, but getting ready for work." Don't be sorry, girl. It's amazing that while you're getting ready for work, you were intentional enough and you thought enough of what we've got going on here to spend some time with us. And we absolutely appreciate that. If you're still listening, have a wonderful work day. And hopefully there's at least one thing, there's something that'll be said today that will ignite the rest of your day. And it'll be one of productivity and just a wonderful one altogether. So, Jay, if you would read the quote one more time, and then we'll pitch it. We'll pitch it to Brian. Are you in a place where you can speak, or do we go to Eric? I'm okay either way.
Yeah, I'm still in transit, but I believe I can jump in.
Okay, yeah, we can hear you well. So he's gonna read the quote real quick, and then you take it from there. Okay.
Okay.
Again, the quote is: an intentional life is not about perfection, but about consistently choosing what aligns with your values and purpose. That's by Brittany Burgunder.
So one part of that quote really sticks out to me, and that's that last part. Choosing what aligns with your value and purpose. That's why, for me, the most important thing every day that gets me to wake up, that gets me moving, is knowing that objective. Not just for the day, but for my life. Because every day there's a new struggle, right? Every day is something different. Every day, you know, some form of the adversary, some form of opposition gets in your way. But when you know that objective, you're able to you're able to identify your values. You're able to know today's purpose. And you don't need to feel like I can't do this. I'm less than that person. Cassandra was saying something earlier, and I would have never guessed it, right? That you just weren't absolutely in love with yourself. I would never have guessed that that would have been the case at any point in your life, ever. But the way you are now, that's how everybody has to be all the time, from the moment they jump on this plane to the moment they jump off. You have got to love yourself. You got to love on yourself, and you have got to believe that it's something bigger out there for you. It's not just what's happening right now. That's already happened, right? What about where you want to go? Keep that in mind. Keep striving toward that, and don't let anybody tell you that you cannot make that happen. You didn't get that. You didn't have that idea just by coincidence. That was given to you. That right there should give you the faith and the confidence to keep going, and the love that you need in yourself to never feel like you second fiddle to anybody. That's it. I'm dropping it. Y'all take it away.
Awesome. Short and sweet and to the point. Um, you said a whole lot in what you said, and the ability to love ourselves is foundational. When you love yourself, you take care of yourself. You honor your boundaries. You don't put yourself in harm's way physically, mentally, or emotionally. You can make decisions and be okay with those decisions, because when they're not in your best interest, you're free to put space between you and that thing. And when you don't love yourself, when you are in that people pleasing place, you end up in places where you could have never imagined. Sometimes doing things that you can never imagine because you're just trying to be liked, you're just trying to be loved. But when you have made peace with your inner self and that voice within is helping you win, it you are advocating, you are cheering for you, then you can at that point you're ready to decide what your definite objective is. What am I here to do? What's important for me in my life? Where am I trying to go? And you dream and you figure that out. Brian's right. We don't come up with these great ideas just because we're so smart. We really don't. Those things are gifted. They're placed in us because we're uniquely designed to bring them forward in a way that only we can. There can be 12 people talking right now about intentionality, and we're all going to come at it from our unique perspective because of the life we've lived, because of the work we've done, because of the people that have poured into us positively or negatively. It's shaped who we are. And so there's no competition because there's only one you. Who's going to compete with being you? It's just you. So you don't have to be concerned when you're in a crowded space, because when the voices actually start to be heard, your voice will be unique. When you've made that peace with yourself, you've made peace with your journey, you're walking it as you were designed to walk it. Your voice is unique. And there's a group of folks that need to hear, even though it may be the same message, they need to hear it the way you tell it. Somebody's waiting on your message uniquely the way you would deliver it, because that's the only way they can hear it. That's the only way they're going to have that aha moment and it's going to make sense. They may have heard it 50 times before in 50 different ways, but the way you show up and deliver it is what's going to break through to them, because there's some connection that only you can make. And when we realize that our uniqueness is what makes us so powerful, is what makes us so special, then we stop trying to be like everybody else. I used to joke all the time and say, I had my Oprah mom. I wanted to be Oprah. I wanted to be Brene Brown. I had the pleasure last year. I'll be at the Texas Women's Conference tomorrow. And last year, Brene Brown was the keynote speaker. And that was the second time I'd had a chance to hear her speak up close and personal. And it was just as powerful this time as it was before. But the difference this time was, instead of me being so enamored, I remember thinking, if she would just give me that microphone, if I could just get that microphone, I have something to say to these people. The old me would never have been comfortable even thinking about being on the stage with somebody who commands thousands at a time. Now I'm just waiting on the microphone. I'm waiting on the opportunity. And I'm not just waiting on it. I'm honing my skills every single day when I talk to you guys. It's different. You can see yourself bigger. You can see your reach expanding, and be okay with that. Not only okay, but expecting it. Because I realize that there's some gifting here. There's something that has been placed in me. There's something that's been placed in every one of us. And when you find it and you nurture it, man, does your life, it just takes on a whole new meaning. And when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. All the little stuff I've done up to this point is all preparation. Every bad day, every good day, every conversation, everything that I've tried that has failed, everything that I've tried that has succeeded, it's all culminated into this moment. And everything from this moment forth will culminate into the next. And so I don't have good and bad days. I have days, and there's some things from those days that propel me forward, and there's some things from the days that teach me where I need to adjust. And I try to make those adjustments and keep going. Am I perfect? Oh no, some days I don't want to get up. Some days I'm struggling just like anybody else. But I thank God I've got the skills now to speak to that struggle and to pick myself up and know, do I need to go talk to my counselor? Do I just need to talk to a friend? Do I need to meditate? I have a toolbox full of things that can help me when I hit a rough patch, so I don't stay there long. And that's why we show up. These are the types of things that we talk about. We're very intentional. We're not here. I had somebody tell me not too long ago on TikTok, oh, you're just preaching prosperity. You're just saying stuff that people want to say hear for likes and follows. No, not at all. Some things I say people are not going to like, and that's okay. We are all different. We all have our own journey, but I'm uniquely designed to tell my story. So I'm going to tell my story, and the people who it resonates with hopefully will pick up something from it, and it'll make their journey a little bit easier. For those that don't, there's another voice. There's somebody else that's talking or writing or whatever that's designed for them. It's not personal. Somebody not liking me has nothing to do with me. And your opinion of me ain't none of my business. I heard that a long time ago, and it's true. If we're built up by the likes and the follows and the kind words, then we're easily broken as well because we're looking for external validation. And if you live your life that way, your life is so fragile and you're at the mercy of everyone else's opinion. That's why it's so important for you to get with that reflection in the mirror. Be intentional about making friends with you. And then once you become a friend of you, become a lover of you. Love yourself, warts and all. Figure out what's working well, and then give yourself the grace and the space to work on what's not. Because that's all we need to do. When things aren't working well, we fix it. We figure out what do we need to do to be better, and we keep moving forward with intentionality. That means you're focused on something, you have a plan, you know where you're trying to go, and then you start to put actions behind that plan. You get to work, you roll up your sleeves, you do what you need to do to get where it is you're trying to go. That's what intentionality is. Being focused, saying yes to this and no to everything else until you get where it is you're designed to go. Don't don't let the noise deter you. Don't be easily distracted. That's all we're talking about. And so, Eric, with that, let me see. There's a couple more quotes. Not quotes. I've got quotes on my mind this morning. Let's see. Uh, Ambimbola says, I love the quote about intentionality. Kim said, of course, because this group is amazing. Thank you, Kim. You are amazing as well. Coral says, I agree, Brian. When you know your purpose, everything will be okay. Coral said, Cassandra girl, keep smiling. I love it. And that was something I had to learn to love too, was my smile. I didn't like it. I had a sister who was not so nice to me my whole life, called me buck teeth and all kinds of stuff. And that stuff sticks. And now I can look at my smile and go, oh, I have a nice smile. Buck teeth and all, I have a nice smile. Those are the types of things. You take control of the inner messaging. And you make sure it's your voice. Whose voice is playing in your head? Whose voice is playing in your head? Is it the person who always infused doubt into your life and said things to you about what you can and what you can't do, everything that's wrong with you? Tell that person to shut up. Dispel them, evict them from your life in here. Do not allow that voice to continue to be in charge. Take control, take the reins, and you, with intentionality, determine what your narrative is. Don't let somebody else tell your story. They don't know it well enough because they have not walked your walk. Let's see. Coral says, God inspired me to post a short video about loving yourself. So it's great hearing you all talking about loving yourself. Alignment, Coral. You are our sister from across the pond for a reason. There's alignment. There's an energy connection there. So I'm not surprised. Kim says she is amazing too, but so are you. And then Coral says, yes, Cassandra, it's about the tools to get out of the rough spots. Exactly. We should always be learning ways that work for us, because what worked for one person may not work for the other. Denise talked about that yesterday. So you take what we're saying and you alter it so that it works for you. And you're not going to take everything. You take what works and you let the rest fly by. It's okay. We're not saying we've got the perfect recipe. Your life, I don't know what you're cooking. So I can tell you what ingredients I have, and you take from that to create the perfect meal out of your life, right? So I may be baking a cake. You may be cooking lasagna. I don't know, but I've got some ingredients that may work for what you're doing. But my sugar, you don't need it. So you just leave it there and you take what works for you. It's absolutely okay. If you just take one thing and integrate that into your life, now you're doing something today that you wasn't doing yesterday. You're opening up the opportunity for transformation and you're being intentional about how you're living your life. Doesn't get any better than that. Ambimbola says, we should never be defined about other people's opinion. Loving myself. She's absolutely correct. So sorry, Eric, I got right back on the soapbox and delayed you having your opportunity to share. So I am going to mute and over to you, whatever you'd like to share about being intentional today.
This is the Cassandra Terry Morning Show. So I love when you go on those tangents because it allows us to further get to know you and be inspired by your greatness because you are the best mindset coach. So appreciative and grateful for that. Um,
Your volume just got really low, at least on my end. Can you hear him okay, Jay?
no, it just came back up while I was
There it is.
receiving
Now
a.
it's perfect now. Yep.
Okay. So I wanted to share on the quote, consistent alignment. I think that for me, that part of the quote is where I'm really trying to dig in this moment. Um, there's alignment with the fam five. There's alignment outside. And within that alignment, we're finding opportunities uh, uh, to not only experience relationship but experience community, and within that community we're finding opportunities and ways to make our services better, to make our businesses better, to grow ourselves financially, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, and so to me it was that consistent alignment part of the quote that made me that spoke to me, and if I can share a story quickly, last night in our EQ and for home based and wellness for home based businesses or home based entrepreneurs, Denise really opened up. And if you weren't there, you keep hearing about it because it was so amazing to watch her share. And so I'm not going to share her story, but I wanted to, and I know she's not with us, but I wanted to put it on wax so she could see it later. Sis, I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. It was amazing to watch you. And the way that people have responded affects everything. It's changed the way that we're going to do our workshop. It's changed the way that we're going to continue to do that room. It's exposed another avenue of how to provide the services for which we're trying to provide. And that's that wellness and that EQ for our home-based entrepreneurs. Jay shared the story yesterday about how him, Renee, his daughters, they're all home based. And you can get really tired of looking at the same four walls and being with the same folks every day. And so it's a real concern for what our future work will look like because it will be in our home, in within our walls, with our family. And so these tools and techniques we're talking about are extremely important. We're going to do it in a practical way in our workshop at the end of the month. We're hoping that folks will get a chance to sign up with us. It's $197, which is a deal for, I think, the services and the skill set we're going to provide. It's going to be community expanded. And so thank you, Cassandra, for allowing me to give that plug and to share that story about Denise last night and even extended into this morning that conversation has. And so I'm really looking forward to continuing to 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 work with entrepreneurs, me and Denise, and help them grow in how they provide services from home.
Looking forward to the workshop, Eric. Thank you so much
Yeah, yeah.
for
I
sharing.
feel like I'm next up on the list. Like we had Brian's, and if you haven't been to the content Q&A, the audio room, but then also the Brian Smart's workshop, it's incredible. What we were able to learn about content has helped all of our content become more consistent, become more tapped into what it is that our purpose is. And so it's a tremendous workshop. If you haven't been to the Brian Smart workshop either, please sign up for that one. I'm not sure when the next time he's going to do it, but I know him and Annie are remixing and going to come back out with that again. So incredible workshop. Look forward to, and like I said, I'll sign up and I'll even do it again. I think there was so much or so little knowledge I have about how to create content that it would be beneficial to just do again. And so I'll definitely be in that class for the second time.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for allowing us to be a part of your grounding and seeing the beautiful outdoors. We have a couple of more comments. Alexander said, first of all, we need to try to honor our heart. What do we feel when we're doing something or when we are in some situation? That's worth sharing. Look at that. I agree with Alexander 100%. When you are aligned, when you're tapped in, when you allow yourself to feel, you're cognizant of what's going on in your heart, it'll show you when that discomfort arises. That's a point for you to tap in and to get clear about what's going on. Maybe I'm just uncomfortable because I haven't done this before. So there's a little bit of nerves. Will I be able to get it done? Maybe I'm uncomfortable because my boundary is being crossed. Maybe I'm uncomfortable because this really doesn't align with my values and who I am as a person. Having that awareness and being that tapped into who you are will keep you out of harm's way, is how I've said it today, physically, emotionally, spiritually, because you're allowing yourself, you're assessing what's going on internally. Why am I feeling what I'm feeling? And when you can answer that question, if it's just discomfort because you're trying something new, normal, no problem. Talk to it. I've learned things before. I'll learn this too. And you keep going. But if you land in a space where you realize that your boundaries are being disrespected, or you are doing something or about to do something that's contrary to who you are and what your value system is, you create that space in thinking about it and feeling your feelings creates that space for you to make a different choice, right? Why am I doing this? What's happening inside? Why does this feel so uncomfortable? And answering that question, you'll know whether you put your head down and you keep pulling through, or it's time to veer to the left or right, go in a different direction. This doesn't work for me. That's the beauty of being tapped into you and really knowing you, having that self-awareness. You can't be intentional if you don't know what you want. You can't be intentional if you don't know who you are. So you have to spend some time with you and get those questions answered. And then you build the roadmap to get you from point A to point B. But without that intentionality, you're just spinning your wheels. Anything is a possibility. Everything's a possibility. Nothing's a possibility. You're just spinning your wheels. So it begins with that self-awareness and clarity of what you desire, who you are, what your value system is, how that all aligns. Make peace with all of that. Get clarity around all of that. And now you're in a position to design the life that you'd like to have. And once you've designed it, then you break it down into actionable steps. Every day you should be doing something that's going to move you towards the goals that you have for yourself. There's parts of our day that's already sold to employers and different things. So we have limited time. Time block it. Lay out your day. Here's when I have to be here, there, or somewhere. And here's this white space on my calendar where I have the opportunity to do something. So you design your day with your success in mind. Design your day with your success in mind, not my success, not someone else's success, with your success in mind. So you have to be clear about what success is for you. So once you've done all that, now you're ready. You've got those actionable steps. You have to put action in play. You have to put energy behind the goals that you have set and actually start to implement. Take the actions and watch yourself a week from the day you started, a month from when you started, a quarter, a year. You'll be amazed at what you'll accomplish if you just take a little time every day to do something that's going to move you towards the life that you desire. Don't make it so big. Don't make it so overwhelming that all you can see is the end goal. Break it down to those actionable steps so that each day you can purpose, you can intentionally do something that's going to move you where in the direction that you would like to go. That's all we're talking about. We make things way too hard. So let's see. We've got Harry says good day, y'all. Good day, Harry. Paulette says true. Hello. And Poku says hello from Senegal. Welcome. I don't know if we've had you before. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I think this is the first time I've seen Senegal in the room. So that's exciting. Let's see. Alexander says yes. In today's global world, we have a lot of wishes that are not truly ours. So we put the wrong goals and move in the wrong direction and feel unhappy at the end. That's exactly why we're here and why we're having these conversations. We want to get that clarity so that you guys don't do exactly what he just said. Find out who you are. Be really clear about that. Find out what you want. Allow yourself to dream and then get busy, put the plan in place, and take the steps necessary to have that life that you're looking for. And I'm here. I am absolutely here to help you guys. I have courses that can help you with the inner voice. Reach out to me, DM me, I'll send you the link. And there's a self-paced course that you can start to take to learn how to reframe that negative messaging. So if you're in that space and you need to do the inner work, I have a resource that can help you with that. And if you feel like you've done that work and it's just about building your plan, I have the M3 goal setting workbook that's available on Amazon. I can send you the link to that. You won't even miss it. Couple cups of coffee. It's not an expensive item. But it will help you lay out that plan and get those actionable steps down so that every day you're doing the work that you need to get to the life that you desire. Let's see. Paulette, hello. She says, hi. Says it's too easy to hang on to the bad stuff. Move forward. H said, yeah. And then we've got two Paulettes in the room. So Paulette Earl says, good morning, living your dreams. And Harry said, want to know who you are, ask your spouse, competition, or your enemies. You can ask them, yes, you can, and get their opinion. And I think it's important to hear from other folks to understand how you're being viewed. But the main attraction, the person who matters most, that opinion is yours. Who do you think you are? Who do you see when you look in the mirror? And where that message is not uplifting, where you see there's work to be done, take it on. If you're the person who never makes space for anybody else and you get some feedback that's not positive, I'm not saying we just dismiss it and we don't listen to those around us. Take it in and see what aligns with you. Is there any truth in it? And do the work if necessary. But don't let someone else navigate your story. Don't let someone else be the one who determines who you really are. Do the work necessary to show up as the person that you would like to be. Do that work and then be able to look in the mirror and say with confidence and love who you are and whose you are, and be happy with that. So Jay, that's it for today. If you could read the Harry said amen. Thank you, Harry. Read the quote one more time and then we're going to close with that for today.
Absolutely. Um, the quote again by Brittany Burgunder is, an intentional life is not about perfection, but about consistently choosing what aligns with your values and purpose. Um, Before we go, I just want to um, give a little shout out.
Okay.
Um, and someone, without asking permission, I'm just going to say someone had reached out to me and basically said that Transformation Tuesday, my message reached her.
Oh, that's wonderful.
And my story of surviving the tornado, my resiliency in the aftermath of that has helped her and is allowing her to pivot in a moment of darkness and is reinvigorated and is now becoming a storyteller herself to tell her story so that others can be inspired and use her story as a blueprint, just like she used mine.
Wow.
So, if there's any message in this moment about intentionality and stepping into your purpose, I was stepping into my purpose as a storyteller. And all of this aligns in this moment
Yeah.
for this message.
Love
So
it.
thank you to her and thank you to everybody in the audience.
Amazing. I bet you have the warm fuzzies just all over, right? Because that's literally why, why we show up. And the final message to each one of you, I didn't mirror I guess I didn't mirror my camera, but my shirt says, embrace the journey. Embrace the journey. Your journey is your journey. You are uniquely designed to travel it. As you're traveling on that journey, you're going to inspire. You're going to meet people and interact with people who will inspire you, but just keep going. Keep taking a step, keep doing the next right thing, and watch where you end up. You will be amazed. Be intentional. We have limited resources. Our focus, our energy, our finances, our time, they're limited. So be mindful about where you're spending them. And if you're doing that, if you're mindful about what you're doing with your time and what you're doing with your time aligns with what it is you're trying to accomplish, by default, you are living an intentional life and you will end up where it is that you were meant to be. So just keep putting one foot in front of the other. Reach out if you need. And let's see, Coral says, oh, nice. Yes, embrace the journey. Thanks, Cassandra. You are very welcome. And that is the end of our show for today, guys. Thank you so much for being so interactive and providing so many any comments and inspiration. We appreciate you all. Tomorrow is Thursday. So on Thursdays, we talk about gratitude. So we will be back tomorrow same time, 7:15 a.m. Central for Thankful Thursday on the Cassandra Terry Morning Show. Alexandra says, God bless you guys. You are doing very cool and important things. Right back at you, Alexandra. Thank you so much. You always bring really deep, well thought comments into the room, and we appreciate you all. And we will see you guys back tomorrow at 7:15 a.m. for Thankful Thursday on the Cassandra Terry Morning Show. Be blessed, everybody. Have a wonderful day.